because it's kind of loud.
I'm going to get all my sniffs in.
I'll do my...
Immunities! I need my immunities!
What Kanye was talking about, the being pro-life. He said that his mom almost aborted him or something like that. And so that's what he was saying was, hey, you know, I'm pro-life, and when my wife called me up and God told me don't F up my plans, that I saved your life and you weren't aborted, you shouldn't abort this kid either, something like that. I don't know. It was, and people were cheering him on. I'm like, but I don't know if, not all, I never want to throw every race ideology into the same basket that because they believe this one thing, they believe everything that everybody else does.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't think that the black community has the same standard of Christian, like being able to say certain words. For instance, if you look at Tyler Perry's movies, he'll have like Christian themes, like undertones and stuff like that.
I've never watched a lot of his stuff.
Like Medea or something like that. They'll be going to church and do a praise dance, but then they curse the way they do to where I don't feel comfortable watching the movie.
Right.
And I'm like, is that a double standard?
Yeah. Silence on the set.
And welcome back to TBC, the Bearded Cactus. Hello.
Hi.
We didn't even mention the YouTube channel last episode. I just now realized that.
Oh, we sure didn't.
We were talking to the camera, and I never even thought to mention YouTube.
Well, hey, we're on YouTube now.
In case you hadn't heard.
In case you're on YouTube watching now, then you already know. But if you don't know.
If you're watching on YouTube, we're on Spotify and Apple Podcast and Google Cast.
If you're listening with your ears but seeing with your ear eyes, then you need to go see with your eyes on YouTube.
You heard me?
You feel? You feel me?
If you're deaf.
Do you feel me? Then there's...
Okay.
I don't even know why you're around.
If you ever watch this...
Yeah.
Because YouTube will keep all your videos. And so the deaf one was not on there.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're clear. But I put on there where if they are hearing impaired, they can read what we say.
Oh.
I put CC on there for them.
Well, good.
Closed captioning for the hearing people.
Yeah.
We don't know sign language, but I think it's pretty cool if you do.
Yeah. I'd like to know.
I mean,
I think that would be pretty cool to know.
As a personal stand, I'm not going to learn it, but...
just based on my own principles, I'm not taking time out of my life to learn a useless skill.
That's right.
When I've got perfectly good ears and a good mouth. So
that's right. Because I live in Texas don't mean I'm gonna learn Spanish.
Yeah, I almost cut my fingers off just because I was like, I don't need them because I don't need Braille. So
yeah,
but then I realized I need to grab stuff.
When Tristan was a little littler. I said it right.
Littler.
You walk by somewhere and there's always Braille on something, and I'll go, I know what this says, and I go, I'd say it, and he was like, wow. I said, it says it right above it, Tristan.
And not only that, I can see that it's a bathroom.
I know. Oh, this is a men's bathroom.
Wow, Dad. How did you learn that?
That's a gift.
Just something I picked up in prison.
No big deal.
When you locked in a hole and all you could do was feel around, you gotta learn your way, boy.
You have to be careful. It could turn into a different day if you don't watch where you're touching.
I don't know what that is, but it's icky.
Yeah, that's sticky. Nope.
I'm not saying what it is.
That's Braille for no.
No means no in Braille.
Boom. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Bearded Cactus.
Hello.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Julian.
Today we're going to be talking about, a little bit, on one of our past episodes, we talked about if we could, or if we would or could shoot someone.
Yeah.
We went through certain scenarios, which actually is where the deaf topic came up.
Yeah. So, okay.
Recap.
Since we got to say, for anybody that's new and they're listening, or, and you have someone that is deaf, or you're reading the closed captions and you're deaf, We don't dislike deaf people. It's just a throwback to a joke that we made.
Yeah.
But we're gonna keep it going. because
Listen to
it's
that
funny.
episode, and this is how funny it was. It made my wife stop listening because it ticked her off so hard.
And that
That's
speaks
my
to
level.
the level of hilariousness that it is. The comical bar
Just
that
like-
has been set.
Just like the word of God, comedy is offensive.
Exactly.
And if it's not offending,
Then it ain't right.
it's not amending.
It's not a
Come on, somebody. Is that right? Did I use that word right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I would say
Yes,
so.
I did.
If I was the guy in charge of using words right, I would have said yes.
Boom.
And I'm saying it
You
now.
heard it here first.
You heard it. You heard it here first.
TPC. That's what I categorize
Oh,
our stuff in the,
I was like,
the Bearded
TBC.
Cactus.
What's the even saying?
Welcome to TBC. TBC 14. Yeah.
Oh, so what we're
I like
going to
your
go
shirt, by the
through?
way.
Thank you.
That's beach themed, correct?
is.
Is that your wife?
Nope.
Oh, it's another woman?
Oh, is that my wife on here? Yes. I thought you meant like, did my wife pick that out? And I was like, no. No,
That's not what I said. You knew what I said.
It's got a mermaid on it. I like mermaids.
See?
So
I actually saw someone that had, they said mermaid goddess. It was a little sticker
goddess.
thing. I've never
I
seen or
don't
heard
know.
that before.
It's got mermaids on it. I like mermaids. Some people dress up like mermaids and stuff. I'm not into that, but
For like
you know,
sexual things? Or
I'm sure there may be some level of sexuality that goes with it. I mean, if people do pony play, then
or Furbies?
yeah.
Wait, is that
no, not furries.
Furries.
Not Furbies. I'm sure there's probably somebody out there who's like,
there's
Furbies.
Furbies.
So it's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Or whatever they do. And then just eyes just blink.
Those things kind of used to freak me out.
They're a little creepy.
We got one. Jonathan, my brother, we just moved to Missouri. I was 12, so he was like 6. Oh, that's not good math. He was like 10. Hold on. Like 8. There you go, because that's about the years apart. I'm very good at math. I went to college school.
Math school.
And you walk by it and it activates. It was
Yeah.
one of those like motions,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
kind of new, I guess, cutting
Right.
edge technology. It
Right.
was really
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, they were.
And I convinced him that it was demon possessed. And from our other episode, like he was a
Yeah.
part of that group of kids that was
Oh,
ushered back in. So he
it
didn't.
was
He was too
easy.
young to remember or see anything, but
Yeah.
the story was always there.
Yeah.
And so
Nice.
I had him pretty convinced. Like, oh my gosh, when we sleep, that thing's gonna get you. I had him so scared. And when we moved to Texas, he was really, really sad.
Oh.
I've always been one to just kind of whatever, let's go with the flow.
Yeah.
Like, we would always run around.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
always find an excuse to leave.
Sure.
Well, Jonathan, I almost said Tristan. Jonathan was a real homebody, and he didn't ever want to go anywhere. He was,
Yeah.
always wanted to watch TV. I mean,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
movies became his thing at a young age, and
Right.
you can't go outside and find out about movies. You have to sit and watch them.
Yeah.
And so he stopped wanting to go outside. So he was attached to that house. That's the house he was kind of born in and grew up in
Yeah.
Missouri. And so leaving there, and he just started school and all that stuff. So it was a big deal for him. I was already going from 6th to 7th grade. It was that summer in between.
Yeah.
Technically, I guess I still have a girlfriend. She was a
Oh.
redhead. Yeah,
Oh.
I remember her name, Paige Shipley.
Have you looked her up? See
No.
if she's still alive?
No,
It'd
she's
be
probably like
"Hey,
waiting for me.
Hey, you stood me. I stood you up a lot of years ago.
Because it was like right before we left and moved that I asked her to be my girlfriend, and she accepted.
Oh,
And then we moved, and I never broke up with her. So technically, I told Jessie, she knows about her.
good. Well, that's good. As long as it's it's clear, it's out there in the open.
Yeah.
I would look her up and just be like, hey, look.
That's the thing about women. You can't find them.
I
If they're married, you'll never find them.
Yeah, because they got a new last name
Yeah.
and everything.
Because I tried on some of the people that I was close
we
with, and I
find
can't remember.
somebody. We can hire a private investigator.
My mom would do it. She likes doing that stuff.
Oh, let's,
And she lived there, so she
we'll
probably
get-
knows the parents.
We'll get Kim on the horn.
Again.
Yeah, again. Kim
Will you
Tillman.
will you find this ex-girlfriend? Well,
Is she still
this
Tillman?
current girlfriend of
Or
mine?
does she go by?
Yeah, she's
okay.
on Facebook.
Because I know
has
some
both.
women keep like their last name from their marriage, and some women don't.
She has both.
Okay.
So I think people from both sides can find her.
Well, I don't know what.
Avant was
Avant.
Avant.
Avant. Huh.
Avant.
Avant. That's
T silent, but you put it
That's-
at Avant.
Avant. It's got a real hard stop.
Mm-hmm.
Avant. Ugh.
Yeah, that's her maiden name. And so she put it.
Your mother was a maiden. Wow.
Yeah, you know.
Maiden
voyage.
Made in America.
Tristan, he always talks about dad jokes.
Yeah.
Like, kid, you were kind of raised as a young child, you little boy, by my dad. You got all the dad jokes in you.
Yeah.
He's a little Larry.
He's a little Larry. He is. He's got
Boy.
hard opinions on life.
Yeah. And he hadn't even experienced it yet. He was telling me, okay, this is a funny story of how much he thinks he knows when he doesn't have a clue.
Yep.
I don't remember ever being this way. I mean, I was perfect. I still am.
I can't ever remember being wrong.
Yeah.
So
I don't know where he gets it
I don't know where.
His mom,
yeah.
I know exactly.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
It was this morning, actually. We were headed to a job.
Yeah.
And he said, a truck came up beside my truck. And he said, hey, go get in front of it and slam on the brakes. And that way he'll know you want to race. I said, who told you this? That's not how you tell someone you want to race. That's how you get in a fight.
Yeah.
And so he said, no, I've seen it. I've seen someone go in front of them, they slam on the brakes, and then they start racing. I said, let me explain this to you. What probably happened was at some point, that vehicle, they had some kind of altercation, someone cut somebody else off, and so that person went in front of them to get them back and slammed on the brakes.
Yeah.
And now they're chasing each other because they're mad,
Yeah.
not because they're racing.
They're not racing.
I said, if you want to race, you're at a stoplight or whatever. You rev up your engine, they rev up theirs. That means that, it's go
Yeah,
time.
like, hey.
And then when you green light, woo, and you go.
Yeah.
And you race.
Yeah.
You don't so what I did was I gave it a few minutes and I slammed on the brakes real hard and screamed and scared the crap out of him. And I was like, hey, you want to race? And his heart was there. He's like, Dad. And he's like, oh, you're so dumb.
Dad, that's not even funny.
And we had like 20 minutes to this place, and I did it almost every 5 minutes, just long enough for him to forget about it. And I was like, hey, you want to race?
Trent's in this weird stage where he'll look something up. Now, he'll be like, all right, I'm going to look this up. But he'll be like, he'll read like 5 sentences and be like, all right, I know everything about it. And then he'll be like, so, hey, Dad, do you know why they call it like the K5 Blazer? And I'm like, no, not really. And he's like, I do. And then he'll go through like this whole explanation. I'll be like, that's not even true. He's like, they started out with like a K1 and then they went up to like a K29. But then like he was telling me this on the way up here. And then I was like, I just kind of like looked at him. I was like, what? And he was like, no, not really. He was like, oh, he'll take it back. He'll pull it back when he knows that I know he's not telling the truth.
So he's trying to trick you?
He's I don't know what he's doing, but right now he's in this weird stage where he like wants to make everything like is bigger than what it really is. Like, and he's trying to make life is extraordinary, which it is, but it's not a movie.
Yeah, don't you see how amazing?
Yeah, and it's like, why? And he's like, he lies about like stupid little stuff, like little stuff, like it doesn't even make any sense. Like the other day, it was me, him, and Allie. We were the only 3 people at the house, and so what he did, he got into some candle wax and he put it on her door. Just put some candle wax on her door. Now, logically, I know that it wasn't Allie because she's just like, I'm not going to put wax on my own door.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do it. And there's only 3 of us there, so there's only one other person. And so I sit there and say, Trent, you put candle wax on her door? No, sir. No, it wasn't me. I was like, Trent, there's no one else here. You can't blame it on anyone else. And he was like, okay, I did it. I was like, no, duh, you did it. I know you did it. I'm not fooled. I'm
going to lose my
yeah.
mind.
I was like, I wasn't asking you because I genuinely didn't know. I want you to just tell me like, yeah, I did it. I just did something stupid for no reason. Just because. Just tell me that. That's fine. I'll just be like, okay, just quit. If you're bored, then we'll find something to do.
Yeah.
Or I'll find something for you to do. But don't just be like, no, it wasn't me. It's like, there's no one else to blame.
You'll never figure it out.
Yeah. I'm a master criminal. Or like,
man.
I'll like sometimes what I like to do because he likes to be sneaky. So what I'll do he thinks I'm in my room, and I am. But then I know he's listening for me to like open the door and like come out real quick. So I'll just twist it to where there's no noise. I'll slide my shoes off, so I'm just walking, socks on the carpet, and I'm being all sneaky. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Nothing. I'm not doing anything. I'm fine. Like,
Can't show his weakness.
yeah, but he's just in a weird spot who just lies about like stupid stuff that it's like you don't need to lie about it, but he wants to know. He wants to know a lot about something, but like I said, he won't like commit to like actually learning a lot about it. He'd be like, "All right, so this motor does that, so okay." So he'll learn like 2 things about it, and then he'll be like, "Yep, know everything about it. I know everything about that motor.
Solve that riddle."
I could tell you why the engineers built it that way," and everything is like, "You have no clue, no clue."
It's kind of the heart of America right now.
Heart of America.
You read one little article and you think you know everything about
Just
it.
read a headline. You don't even have to read the article.
I was watching this thing the other day. So I was guilty of when the Black Lives Matter, like when it first started, like boom,
Sure.
and all the stuff. I was like,
Sure.
okay, Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Put the whole, black square, on
Black
there.
square thing.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then I got to reading and researching
Yeah.
what the organization itself stands for.
Yep,
now, obviously,
yep.
Black Lives Matter.
Sure.
Duh.
I mean, that goes without saying.
But the organization itself is like trying to, in their mission statement, is trying to destroy the nuclear family.
Nuclear family.
And like LGBTQPRST, whatever,
ABC.
plus.
Yeah.
And that's what they're pushing for.
Right.
So as Christians,
Yeah.
and so then it makes us like, okay, am I a racist if I don't support? Am I a Christian if I do support?
That's what they want you to believe.
Yeah.
That's what they
and
would want you to
it gets
believe.
so confusing because
Yeah.
like, okay, well if I don't say that Black Lives Matter, because they tied it so well together
Yeah.
that you have to question what you believe. Are you a racist?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a racist.
I'm not a racist.
I don't support the organization, but
Yeah.
they tagged a race to the organization.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very clever.
He's very, very sneaky.
Is it ethical for them to do that?
Very, very. No, it's unethical. Unethical. Next question. Well, I know, like this second time around that like Black Lives Matter and everything came out, like I was more prepared from the last time that they did something. So when it came back out, I was like, well, I already know what they stand for, so this is going to get real. It's going to get real stupid, because the last time that the organization and everything came out, then I was like, it's getting real stupid now too. It's like you said. I mean, you tag, Black Lives Matter to it, and then there's
something that sounds really good,
right? Because that sounds
and
good.
it's
Like,
a no-brainer.
Black Lives Matter,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, they do, but the organization itself is it's corrupt and crooked and just it's not
It's not ethical.
it's not
at all.
ethical. Which brings us into our topic of the day. We're going to talk about some ethical dilemmas and maybe would we do these things? What would we do in these situations? Would we be wrong if we did these things? Would we be right? Would we be ostracized maybe?
Is there a right answer? Is there a wrong
Is there
answer?
a wrong or right answer?
We'll never know
I don't know.
until now.
So
Have we already said hello to everyone? Yeah, we start.
We said hello.
It was the last episode that we skipped
Yeah,
until.
last time we said it like in the
Okay.
middle.
I'm getting old.
Hello, just in case.
All right. Don't forget though, beardedcactus.com.
Bearded Cactus.
To buy our merch. If you rock the fanny pack, you can rock our faces on one. We got a banana yellow fanny pack.
Yeah,
You're not wearing the shirt
I'm not
today,
wearing the shirt today,
but it's
but
beautiful.
I do own the shirt.
And he wore it last episode. Check us out on YouTube. Just search The Bearded Cactus, and we will pop up with our pretty little faces.
Yeah, that's the THE.
Yeah.
Yep.
Duh.
With a T and an H and an E.
It's unethical to spell it any other way.
Tahi.
And
Tahi.
any major platform, you can check our podcast out. But at thebeardedcactus.com, you can listen to every single episode. We have a little playlist right there. You can go down, scroll down. Today, we're on episode 19,
19.
almost to 20,
Double digits.
which means we've pretty much done 19 weeks worth of episodes.
Nice. Yep. We've only
that's
skipped
a chunk of a
1
year.
week.
Yeah, 1 year. 1 week we had to skip.
Yeah, we've
but
only skipped 1 week, but life's gonna happen, yo.
life,
Yeah, life, yo.
White Rapids in the morning.
White Rapids in the morning.
So check us out on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. You can also do the same. Rate and subscribe on any podcast platform you listen on.
Give us that ratings. Bump us up to the top of the list. Help us out with that YouTube algorithm.
Do we want to tell them how they can also have a podcast? We want to do that today?
Do you want to do that today?
Let's do that today.
Let's do it. Here at this website, you can have a podcast as well.
So we use a platform that helps us distribute all of our episodes. Also, the little playlist that I just mentioned that is on our website, it's embedded from our Buzzsprout account.
Buzzsprout.
So just like you share or can embed a YouTube video, you can also do the same thing from Buzzsprout. They push it out to every major platform. You got Google, Stitcher, Pandora, all these platforms that people listen to. And Spotify as well, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all these major platforms that people are listening on, Buzzsprout, and if you click our link below, you can get a 90-day free trial, and you do not have to pay anything up front. Just make upfront.
Upfront in the Buzzsprout.
And also, if you do, when you sign up for a pay, you will get a $20 Amazon gift card. So that's pretty cool.
$20.
$20.
You could donate that to
Donate.
You could donate that to the Bearded Cactus, maybe.
And if you're listening right now to us on the platform you listen on, you can scroll down, and if you look and it says support the channel, they make it very easy to link a PayPal account to where you can give them options of donating once or monthly. And also, you can do that for ours too today as well. Buzzsprout.
Buzzsprout.com. Buzzsprout.
Oh, and they have a community on Facebook that you can go, you can pick people's brains. You can even have guests come on your show from that group if they're in your particular genre, or you can be a guest on their show. So it's kind of cool. You can switch it up. It's a really cool community. They put out new YouTube videos every week, and they are there to help and to help you grow your channel.
Yeah.
They also have ways that you can get sponsored. They set you up with doing it like this, where you can do a spot from Buzzsprout and
Buzzsprout.
Yeah. So check it out. Click the link below and get your little. If you got something to say, just do it, bro. We also have a list of everything that we use below. You can check out on our YouTube and the podcast platform you're listening to. Our mics, our stands,
Buzzsprout,
even our recorder.
Yeah.
So I put that on there.
That's all below.
And that's how another thing, you can sign up with Amazon affiliate marketing, and you can be able to get your. You all right, bro? It's such a good deal.
Buzzsprout.
You can also be able to click that link, and people can. You get a small commission from using Amazon. Oh, you did it again. What is your problem?
Bro, it's just one.
What is your problem?
One time!
He thinks it's funny that I have to edit all this.
I'm not going to do it again.
One day. You just wait till you get a computer.
I will never. What other thing?
You're going to take my computer home. Figure it out.
Man, let's jump into these ethical situations. Let's see what you would do.
Let's jump in these ethical situations.
Would you die for the black man?
Yeah. I would.
Would you die for the Asian man? What about a Ukrainian woman?
Ooh.
Yeah.
You lost me a woman.
Yeah. Oh, man. Let's see. Okay. I wrote a couple down. I wrote a few down. So, let's see where we should start. Oh, okay. Let's start since everybody's about tearing down statues and all that stuff. Okay. People want to change names, whatever. Okay, you want to change names? Names change all the time.
Yeah.
Abraham,
okay.
Abrahimio, whatever. So, do we view people that have the good thing? What should we look at? So we have people that did good things in history, but they also did bad things too.
So you're talking about the statue ripping down all that stuff?
Well, not necessarily just the statue. Let's say, okay.
I think we like to, as humans, we like to point out other people's faults especially if it distracts from our own.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of what's going on.
I feel that.
I think they have a lot of unresolved hate, especially unresolved tension.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel like they're using whatever instance or whatever to represent them ripping down that stronghold that they feel inside.
Dang, you going deep. Okay.
And so I that's what I think. I think that there's a lot of underlining things that it's a lot of point the finger in this direction, and they're not self-examining.
But don't look
themselves.
at me. Don't look at me, and
Right.
don't examine my past, because I can do all this stuff to these people, and I can rip down these statues, and I can judge these people because I've done nothing wrong. And I think we do that too, because we were like, yeah, I did this, but he did that, and
Right.
I did. That's not nearly as bad as what I did. What I did isn't nearly as bad as what he did.
We
so
live in a day of spotlight.
I'm still good, right?
A day of spotlight until it's talking about stuff you've done wrong.
Yeah,
and then you don't want it anymore.
Like,
then you
no,
want to
no,
catch
no,
somebody
no.
else.
Yeah.
So I feel that the tearing down of stuff. First of all, there's a right way and a wrong way to do something.
Sure.
But I feel that when I say they, all the people writing, they're not. It's not just black people.
Right.
And a lot of the videos I see, it's mainly white people doing it, like they're trying to impress the black people. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. I'm doing this for you.
Yeah.
That I'm not racist. Like,
Which
that doesn't make any sense. But okay, whatever.
that almost makes them racist.
Almost.
Just against their own people.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you look at before we came to this time of blacks not being slaves anymore,
Right.
every person was wrong.
Yeah.
So if you're doing that by that standard of, well, no matter where we are now,
Yeah.
let's rip down everything that was
Right.
that has any ties to that's American history.
And I guess
it's not black history.
And it's also like, how far back do we go? Like, we say, okay, we'll tear down these statues of these people, and I guess it's like, what is our standard for what we deem unacceptable that somebody does? Because if we make statues or just like commemorations and all these things to commemorate these people, whoever they are, do we say, oh, well, this person did a lot of good either for humanity or for their community or something, but they had a really bad past too, Do we still hold them up in that high esteem? Or do we say, you know what you did was like, it was really bad, so since you did all this really bad stuff, we're not gonna, although you did a lot of really good stuff too that really helped a lot of people out, it doesn't matter because you did all this bad stuff.
And I think it's apples to oranges. You have people who are not wanting to be, they're vandalizing.
Yeah.
In the name of justice.
Sure. Yep.
But they don't want justice served to them for the laws that they're breaking.
Right.
Which is a contradiction in itself.
Yeah.
Like when they say defund the police, makes zero sense, because if the police aren't there, who's going to step up with the guns and stuff? It's going to be the thugs. It's going to be the mobs.
Yeah, somebody.
And it's going to be like Batman. It's going to be Gotham City.
Gotham City.
Where it's seriously going to come to pass if they don't stop this retarded defund the police, because who do they call? Like, who's going to stop?
I don't know.
We saw what happened when the Chaz or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Was
Chaz,
the whole,
chunk, chop, whatever.
Whatever it was.
Fudge.
And then they tried to send out people because they ran out of resources and stuff. And it's like, no, if you want to be in your walls, stay in your walls, bro.
They did that. Well, see, that's the thing. They did the same stuff that they didn't want people doing for them. It's like, so they set up, patrol and
the exact same thing that they're saying they don't want.
It's like, we don't want that stuff, but we want it here.
We want these guys to be cops. And what it was is that they were the more rough cut people that were in charge because they were the more violent.
Yeah.
And so they have ARs and everything else. And then the people who are saying let's take their guns say that's okay. The logic is not there.
It doesn't make any sense.
And if you defund the police, okay, let's just go back to kind of where this all started and kind of stirred up. So we have Black Lives Matter. We have defund the police, which that is a part of their mission statement as well, to defund the police. Mm-hmm. And you have white cops Let's just talk it from what we're hearing in the media and everything else.
Sure.
You have white racist cops
Mm-hmm.
Beating and killing innocent black people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First of all, not true.
Right.
Now, does that happen? Absolutely. But
It has happened.
But to say that
happened.
all cops, because of a few cops, are
Yeah.
racist
Yeah.
and need to be taken out of the force, if you flip that,
Yeah.
and if you say all black people
Yeah.
are gangsters, thugs, rapists,
Yeah.
killers,
Right.
thieves,
Yep.
it makes some people mad.
Yep.
But it's they're saying the exact same thing to the other side of the fence as they don't want said to them.
Right.
That's hypocritical. And so they're not solving the issue by pointing back the finger and saying, no, you're doing this.
Right.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
If you want to really, we may have talked about this before, but Lecrae, I really looked up to him. He came from a rough background and all this stuff. And he posted a video on his Instagram. Now, I understand it was coming from a place of hurt and he was upset and all this stuff. But at the very end of the video, he said, we're paying them to kill us. And then the video cut.
Yeah.
How ignorant can you be to think that all cops
Yeah.
are out to get black people?
Yeah.
There are black cops. That doesn't even make sense. But it's
A lot.
It's
There's a
saying
lot.
because one person fits a certain profile, they're
Yeah.
automatically that way.
Right.
And that's exactly how they don't want to be treated.
Yeah.
But they're dishing out, and
But
then
let's treat them the
Yeah.
same way. Yeah.
so it's hypocritical. And for some reason, I don't know if they're blinded by hate or the history or whatever, but they're being so blinded
I think
by
there's a lot of that.
by common sense.
Right. Yeah.
Martin Luther King himself said he would never stand by rioting because that will not solve anything. Because all it does when you have, like he said, he was a genius at speaking this.
Yep.
More hate equals more hate.
Yep.
More anger, more anger.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you don't solve anything by getting mad and starting destroying stuff.
Right.
Because then there has to be a force to come and stop you before it goes too far.
Yeah.
Which then that makes everybody racist.
Yeah.
And it's just a constant back and forth of well, you're doing this, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
What was the question? What was the? I went off on the deep end. Sorry.
It was more or less like can we still hold people in high esteem even though they have done some bad things?
I think yes,
But-
because we all have done something bad. If you dig
Right.
deep enough in anybody's life,
Yeah.
95 to 99% of people, besides my wife or maybe my dad,
Yeah.
have done something that they're severely ashamed of. Or even just, if you go
Yeah.
by biblical terms, what Jesus said about capturing your thoughts before you
Yeah,
even
yeah.
think it, to capture it.
Right.
Because that's considered,
Right.
you eventually will act it out if you keep thinking it.
Sure.
And so that's why it was so important to capture it then. So we've all, even down to our thoughts, have just thought something bad.
Right.
We're all guilty of something.
Yeah.
We've all sinned.
Yeah.
We've all done something we're ashamed of or made a bad choice. And would we shudder if something, that one choice would be plastered everywhere?
Right.
Of course we would.
Yeah. Yeah.
We wouldn't want that to be there. We
Yeah.
want nobody to know about it. That's why there's secrets.
I don't want
Getting
people
awful
to
hot
know.
in here.
Next question.
But I think that we forget that
Yeah.
we've all messed up in some way.
Right.
We've all, at some point in our lives, have maybe had a racist thought
Sure.
towards somebody who's not like us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the human nature. You gravitate towards people who are like you,
Yeah, yeah.
and you shun those that aren't. That's why it's so hard to fight against that. If you, in church, in relationships, in marriages, things like that, like people, you see a black and white couple, and you're like, it just, something's like, oh, that's not right. You know, they don't match up. There's nothing that says they don't match up except for what we see.
Right, right.
When they could be perfect for each other and exactly how God wanted it to be. So I think that they're forgetting in all this tearing down of stuff and being upset about things that we've all done something in our past or
Yeah.
even thought something that we're severely ashamed of.
Sure. Yeah.
And we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, and if we look at it from the Christian worldview, then we have to look at it to where when that rich young ruler came to Jesus and it was asking, like how do I get, how do I go to heaven, basically. And he was, first he called him, like good teacher, and he's like, well, why do you call me good? There's no one good but God, and that's the thing. Like we can sit here and do all of these things, to try and earn like a position or to build ourselves up, to make ourselves like, look at all the good that I've done. I know I've did a lot of bad, but my good outweighs my bad, trying to earn that good spot. And then God brings it, and he says, no one is good. No one.
If Jesus said that,
yeah, like
who are we?
Yeah. It's like, no one is good. Everything good that you will do means nothing. It's absolutely useless. There's no one good.
Yeah.
So I think when we look at it from that to where we could say, yeah, okay, sure. Were there people that changed the world or did good things, but they also had some bad stuff in their past? Sure. Yeah, of course. But that doesn't mean that the things that they did to bring about like good change, that those weren't good things. And you also have to look, as far as history, you also have to look at everything like in context and say, okay, what was going on during this time? We can't sit here and say, oh, we like to say that, oh, we're so civilized and we would never do the things that they did. And yeah, we probably wouldn't now, but if you put us 200-300 years ago, would we do those things?
And we can't apply the standards we have now
Right.
and the place we are at,
Sure.
and apply it to that then.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
make any sense,
Right,
because
right.
we've grown as a people.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
as a nation, we're blended more than ever before.
Oh, yeah.
And accepting of
Yep.
so many different ideologies, races, religions. It's a melting pot.
Yep.
It used to not be that way. It was just one way, or you're dead, or you're a witch.
Yeah.
Or that's kind of the way it was.
Yeah.
And so the whole, I think, and this may resolve a little bit. I'm not saying I'm a freaking genius or anything, but if there was, from all walks of life, not every, that would be impossible, a majority of a minority represented at like a round table discussion, and really pick apart whether this should be there, idolized.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you have a statue of something, you're idolizing it.
Sure.
I mean, that was running rampant in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's not, but I mean, people aren't worshiping it. But
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
does it deserve to be there? You don't rip it down, because then you're a vandal.
Right.
You don't burn places, because then you're vandalizing. That's just the way that it is.
Right.
So sit down, discuss it, get everybody's opinion, whites included. They're allowed. Sit down and really talk and discuss it. That's what will change things.
Yeah.
And then everyone will be represented. I mean, we have a House of Representatives
Yeah.
full of a lot of white people. That should change.
Yeah.
Be the change you want to see. Don't just start whining and say, well, I can't do it because of the white supremacy. You can't do it because you're being lazy.
Yeah.
I have this house, and I'm not living in my car anymore because I decided that my choices were not right.
Yeah.
And I needed to change who I was.
Yeah.
That was a fundamental pivoting point for me, where I said the old Stephen has to go away and die, and the new Stephen can be reborn. And that was through Christ. It doesn't have to be your choice, but that's how I did it, and that's what sticks, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
So the whole blaming it on other races of where we are and what's doing them is retarded, and it's very immature.
Yeah.
Take responsibility,
Yeah.
change, and be the change of what you want to see. And then I think ethically we can take down statues together. I mean, that would be beautiful. If they deemed it to be something that really shouldn't be there, or someone's being idolized because maybe, and checks and balances, like, did they do a lot of bad, or were they gruesome to slaves and stuff? There's all kinds of, but they would be able to take that into consideration and be able to have an open round table discussion about it, and really break down whether that needs to be there, and then talk about some new change, like new people that they should maybe put in its place,
Right.
and put it up together, and not make it a thing of rage, but a placement of peace where people can sit down and actually discuss and see the other side and really get to know each other as far as a people. Mm-hmm. And I think that would be the steps forward in the right direction, is to where the change where people is wanting to see, whether they're rioting or whether they're protesting or whether they're sitting silently by and just don't know what to say or how to act. I think that would be the start of churches, communities coming together, really seeing other people's perspective and doing it together, instead of saying, well, we're right because we're this color, or you're wrong because you're that color. That causes more racism. That causes more separation. That's just my take on it anyways.
Should have started queuing up some like some powerful music.
I could put some in the
Like,
background.
yeah, put it in a
We is America.
zoom in on your face. It would have been, man. It would have been. Then have like a flag blowing in the background. Man,
Had Trent
Yeah.
over here with
is this good, Daddy? Yeah.
Tristan holding the fan.
Your beard.
Like, yeah, man.
Looking good. All right. Okay.
That's just my take on
I
it.
got you. All right. You heard it here first.
After TBC 14.
TBC 14. Stephen Tillman.
TBC 2020. What's that? 2020. That's a show, right?
Yeah.
2020. Isn't it?
Yeah. 20. Is it 2020? 2020.
Hey, dog. Hey, dog. Hey, dog. I've been
all
all
around
around
the
the
world,
road
but I
without
don't roll
rolling
with
nobody
nobody
but
but
my
my
dog.
dog.
Hey, dog. Boom.
Oh, okay. All right. On to the next one. Let's see. Now this one's gonna be a little bit more. It's gonna be a little bit more tricky. All right.
That's what you think.
All right. I'm gonna bring up the Holocaust
Holocaust.
now. Holla. All right. So you're a Holocaust. You're in the Holocaust.
I'm in the Holocaust.
You're
dude.
in the Holocaust.
I'm not the Holocaust.
You're not the Holocaust. You're the Holocaust.
You're the Holocaust.
Do you kill the Jews or not?
Holocaust.
Did you kill
That's my wrestling name.
Romanis? The Holocaust.
Bonesaw is ready.
I don't know if I want to fight this guy. Is that bad?
He's killed thousands of people.
Millions.
We discussed earlier, I'm not good at math.
Thousands.
It's also true.
Thousands
and thousands
there
are
had to be
millions.
thousands before it could be
Yeah.
millions. So technically,
I'm right again.
You're right. Hundreds of people.
At least tens of hundreds.
So you're part of the Holocaust now. You're hauled off to Auschwitz.
I'm hauled off in
You're
the
hauled
Holocaust.
off in the Holocaust. So you've got people in your community that you're in there with now.
Okay.
So
We're all alive.
you're all alive for now.
In a a
It's a
commune.
concentration
camp.
Not
That's
a
what
commune. That's anything but a commune.
Maybe I don't know what a commune is. I was thinking communist. Sorry. Is that wrong?
Even then, still not good.
Moving on.
You're gonna get a lot of heat, boy.
Oh man, it got hot in here all of a sudden.
So you're in there. You're hauled off with your neighbors, your friends, your family, people that you knew.
My commune. I got
All there in the commune. It's about to get down and dirty, apparently. So you're this cult leader of now, and
my people will rise
my
again.
people, the Jews will rise again. Oh boy, we're gonna get banned.
Yeah.
This one's not gonna make the cut.
This was
This one's not gonna make the cut. We're gonna
Out
get
my
canceled.
face.
We're getting canceled. So you're there
no more TBC 14.
now. If you want to survive, they tell you if you want to survive, what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be hauling your fellow inmates and everything. You've got to lead them off to the gas chamber. Like you're gonna be controlling the switches and everything, and you've got to do that. What are you gonna do?
Now, are they giving this to me, or are they giving that
Yeah,
salvation to my family too?
No, they're saying, look, like you're separated from your family. You don't know where your family is.
Oh, okay.
So you're by yourself, but you do know people from like your old neighborhood and stuff.
Man.
And not even that, but you know that you're like the same people. Like you're like this group of people. Like so you're Jewish, so
Yeah.
you're all Jews and Romani and
I've
all
already
that.
got the nose.
So you got it. You got the beard. Chaim. And you got a cool hat. So
I do.
you're there, and then
I always wear it.
And then they tell you, hey, we need you to run the gas chamber. So you're going to be responsible. So whenever we bring all these people in here, you're going to be controlling the switches to be gassing them. If not,
Can I
we'll
talk
just
to-
shoot you in the head right now.
Can I talk to Schindler first? I guess at that time they didn't know about him. It's like I read the Bible sometimes, and I'm like,
he'll come along
that's
later.
an easy answer, but they didn't read it.
Yeah,
They're
they
living
didn't have it. They didn't have that. Like, the
guys.
answer is so simple.
Yeah. I see God telling you right here.
Oh, my goodness. You're so dumb, Peter.
You
3
ever-
times?
You ever wonder if, when they say God said, if it was an actual audible voice, or do you think it's like how we perceive it now? Because when you put God said this, if you felt he spoke to you, you know what I mean?
I think you have to. I think that all goes along with reading the Bible in context and understanding writers' liberties and at the time at which they were writing. I think some of it's audible, and I think some of it's just not. It's just not audible.
It just crossed my mind.
Right? Yeah, I think some of it is, some of it's not.
Because some of the poets, some of the prophets were considered poets. So the way they would write was poetic.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah.
And so it could be like not verbatim, more of a.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at that, you can see that throughout the whole Bible.
Yeah.
I mean, you look the Bible as a whole, you have all these different authors. So you have authors that wrote at different times. You have authors that started something but didn't finish until this time.
Yeah.
So maybe their writing style and the way that they wrote and how things were written changed over time.
And also, if
So-
someone's writing it for them and they're talking to the writer,
Could be that.
their influences also can be
Sure.
in
So-
in the mix.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
makes sense. Like if you tell me something and I write it down, which now they had a certain way, which is kind of cool. They had a certain way to shorthand. The scribes did. To where they can go back and then write it out later. So when things were happening, they would have like a stenographer.
Yeah.
They had that same type of deal for scribes.
Okay. All right.
And that's how they would record things like
Right.
at time, because
Right.
they would do like that and they could write it fast, and then they would go
Gotcha.
back and know what they
Gotcha.
were saying, and they would be able to
Yeah.
write it full.
That's
It's
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I studied that one time. I was like, dude, it makes sense.
Yeah, but I think you see that. I think that's cool in the Bible, just in and of itself, just because you have poetry in it, you have like storytelling, you have these different ways that people write. You have stuff that is descriptive, and it's not necessarily a first-hand account, but it was what was told to them, and now they're relaying it back. But then you do have stuff that is like first-hand account, and it's like, this is exactly what happened. Just you have to keep that in mind too whenever you read the Bible too.
Yeah.
I think some people miss that. They don't realize that there is poetry.
That's
in
why
the
I
way
like
that
to study
people write.
Bibles, like so I can have some commentary and have some context. Because like
Yeah.
one of the ones I had, well, probably a lot of them do, but it'll say like who wrote the Bible, what their points were, things like that. It has like
Yeah.
outlines and reasons behind it. Kind of people smarter than me that are theologians and they understand it a lot better. It helps me to understand it because I kind of have more context to what I'm
Yeah,
reading.
yeah.
And I think it opens up more
Yeah, because
as I'm reading.
Yeah, it definitely does, because I think we have a fault. We have a big fault of putting ourself into the Bible when it's not about us, and we no, I know. Believe me, I know.
I have to read it all again.
Listen, David and Goliath. I'm not David. I thought forever I was David. Forever.
Dave.
I'm David.
We're all David, man.
Bathsheba.
Which is funny because her name was Bathsheba and she was taking a bath.
Bathsheba. Woo.
Do you think that was her actual name, or it was put in there as a pun?
I think probably. I think it was a little both. What's her name, David? Bathsheba. Bathsheba.
And the great,
It's not even a real word.
the cool thing about Bathsheba is not what David did, but she was the bloodline that Jesus came from. So his mess up birthed the salvation for everybody.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty intense.
That's how it go.
Yeah.
That's how it go, bro. God don't care.
So I think if
God's gonna be like, I'm gonna get my will done.
if I gas all those people, God will use it for good.
Yeah.
I'll see my family again. Well, see, here's what I know, is that most likely in this scenario,
Yeah.
they're probably going to kill me either way.
Oh yeah.
Hope can make you blind, but also help you see.
Yeah.
And I think in this scenario, it probably would blind me, because especially being
Sure.
that I already know, or I've already suffered so much.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would be very difficult. But I think if it was just me and my family wasn't involved, I think I would try to prolong life as much as possible. Just being honest.
Yeah. And that's what they did. So I mean that's like a real thing that they did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had them like run that stuff, and then they would run it for however long, and then they would kill them, and then they would just get somebody else to do it. You know, so there was a lot of that. I mean, there's a lot of self-preservation that goes on. Because it's like the way that they did it. They had the Jewish people like it's like they would take them to work. If you were fat enough or healthy enough, then they would take you to work to build stuff for them. So it's like you're doing stuff for the enemy, for the people that are trying to kill you and that are killing you.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do? I mean,
just to stay alive.
Yeah, it's like I want to live, so sure, I'll build your helmets.
No, I'm calling your bluff. I don't think you will.
I don't think you're gonna do that to me, mein Führer. No way. No, not with that silly mustache.
Because I can't even imagine some of the things they saw. So the fear.
Yeah.
If someone there asks you to, or they don't ask you, they give you a choice of do this or don't.
Yeah.
I think I would do.
Yeah.
And that sounds terrible. I mean, self-preservation kicks in.
Yeah.
It's like an instinct you don't even have to think about.
Right.
That and protecting your family. Well, if you don't know who your family is and they're probably already dead, which is probably at this point in time, all hope would be kind of lost.
Right.
I'd be like, sure.
Yeah.
I know you're going to kill me anyways. Might as well last a few more days. Maybe you'll feed me better.
Maybe something will happen. And I mean, and I think that's the thing too, because it's like, okay, I want to try and live as long as I can because maybe it'll be over, or I can find a way out of this within those days that I am alive. It didn't work out for a lot of people.
Hey guys, everybody going in here, just fall down and pretend like I did it.
Yeah.
And then when they come in to get you, we'll attack them.
Yeah.
I wonder if everybody ever tried that.
I don't think so.
I'm sure they probably were like watching.
Yeah, but you also have to think they were so weak because they barely fed them.
Yeah.
Just enough to not die.
Which doesn't make any sense. Like, how sick do you have to be to keep them alive just enough to where you can kill them?
That's like another thing, because if you look at the people that did these things, we like to think of them as like, oh, well, they were all psychopaths and they were all just like demented and crazy and something was wrong with all of them, which isn't the case, because that's just not how the world works, because not everybody's a psychopath. There's not like 30,000 psychopaths just running around like, I don't feel anything for anybody
that we know of.
If you look at these people, they're just like us. They're just in a different situation and in a different time.
Yeah.
And they're normal people with families, but they've been pretty much brainwashed to think that these people are lesser and to think that they're pretty much worthless and everything.
If you look up anything about Hitler, he could sway people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like no one before him.
Yeah.
Like he would be in a room with people thinking different than him, and by the time he left, they would all think the same way if he did.
Right.
Now, me and Jesse and I talked about this before, and let me know what you think. It's like every few generations you see somebody kind of like Hitler. Do you think that's the devil trying to get the Antichrist and take? Because I mean, think about how many of the Jews, God's people, he took out.
Right.
That's a pretty specific.
It's a lot. You said a lot of people.
Like a certain type of people he tried to take out. Like
Yeah.
it seems a little too specific to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
It's very like on the nose
Yeah.
of like, well, that's not. And he was half Jewish.
Was he?
I thought that's what my wife said. Like his mom was Jewish or something like that.
I don't know nothing about that. I don't want to be spitting no lies.
Says he may have had Jewish and African ancestors, according to recent DNA study.
So he may have. Nothing definitive.
A young Jewish. Okay, so some have suggested that his father, Aloysius, born to an unwed woman named Maria,
Oh yeah,
was the illegitimate child of Leopold Frankenberger, a young Jewish man whose family employed her as a maid. So on his dad's side,
yeah. So he had a little bit of Jewish in him then. All right.
So what makes someone hate themselves so much? Or is that why he was killing a part of himself when he would kill other Jews?
I don't know.
But why would he hate Jews so much?
I don't know.
It's just so weird.
Yeah.
And like, what was with the thing? Like, why?
I think it was just a thing.
Hey,
Later, guys. I was
do
like,
that to-
oh, yes.
I do that to other guys driving trucks down the road now. Hey. Tristan looks at me. He's like, "You're so dumb, Dad.
You're so dumb.
I'm in a cool club now, kid."
I'm in a truck club.
I'm in a truck club.
What can I say? It's the same thing with motorcycles. We got to wave and everything.
Down
you know?
to the side, kind of. Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll give him a deuce. Sometimes I'll give him a one. I'll just let go with it. just I give him a big old wave. Hey!
Hey!
We both got motorcycles.
You, me.
Woo! That's a cool vest.
Is that real leather?
What do all those patches mean? Can I get some?
Where'd you get that?
Death Squad. Huh. That sounds intense.
The Ace Diamonds?
I'd like to be a part of that.
A1
Are you a 1%er?
That's like
what they
steak sauce.
say.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That'd be good.
Can I do that?
What do I got to do?
You got some drugs I can buy?
Yeah? Meet you in the back alley?
Meet you in the back alley.
Okay, cool.
What you gonna do with that lead pipe?
Cool.
You're a plumber. Wow. My daddy used to be
I
a
could
plumber.
tell by when I saw you drive by, I saw all your crack.
I was like, he's got to be good. Whatever.
A plumber
He's
drug
got to
guy.
be good at plumbing. Oh boy. Yeah, I would.
You think you would?
I probably. I mean, I think at that point,
Nothing to lose, right?
I mean, self-preservation kicks in. Hope. You know, you're like, I want to live.
If I last a little longer.
Yeah, I want to try and last as long as I can.
And see, also,
try and find a way out.
my family, like if I didn't
Yeah.
have, if they weren't around,
Yeah.
that I'll also be like, maybe they're still alive.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
I can see them again if I just hold on a little longer.
Figure something out. Try.
You have to know the war's happening around you
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine
Try and find a way out
the
of it.
feeling of when the war was over and the ones that were left.
Yeah. It
that-
had to have been.
Yeah.
It had to have been crazy.
I
Just-
probably would have been a grown man crying.
I probably would have been crying every day, trying to save my tears and drink them. I don't know. It's salty, but
You'd be parched. Down to hunger and thirst now.
Oh, never mind. I don't want to do this anymore. Forget it.
I mean, if it was like, like if I saw like my kids or something like walking in line to go into like the gas chamber,
Yeah.
then I think I would just be like, you know what, just go ahead and kill me because I'm not going to be the hand that kills them.
Yeah.
I would rather you kill me.
I
and then-
remember you, little Timmy.
Yeah. I mean, that would.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right,
be
well, I'm going to
terrible.
go ahead and go in with them now.
Yeah. No, might as well.
Sorry.
This is my stop. This is my stop. So,
But
that's crazy.
let us know what your ethical dilemma answer would be.
Ooh.
Hashtag the bearded cactus.
Would you steal your friend's parking spot just to be a little bit closer to the building?
Would you rob your 9-year-old just to have their cake?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Would you leave? Would you take the quarters off the counter that your kids left there and you've warned them, stop leaving your change laying around the house or I'm going to take it?
Would you stop up the public restroom and say that your son did it? I would.
I have.
And I will.
And I will again. I will never take the blame. Ever.
Don't forget, check us out at thebeardedcactus.com. Find us on YouTube, The Bearded Cactus.
Buzzsprout.
Facebook, The Bearded Cactus.
Love you guys.
He does love you.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
Boom.
Give us some ratings, bro.
Ratings.
Move us up in the algorithm.
Ow.
See you guys later.
Later. Fist
Fist bump.
That's socially distancing away.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the Bearded Cactus fist bump. I didn't do that. But
It's okay.
last time. Ah.
We're cool.
Bye.